What is up, guys? Drew Martin here talking SEC football for week number 12, the week before rivalry weekend. So hopefully get some winners here. 7 SEC games against Division I opponents. Last week, a down week, just 2-4, lost the best bet. So best bets now 4-5, and overall 32-33. So one game under 500. Not what we hoped for, but bounce back mode. Feel good about this week as well, guys. So getting into this, quick hitting all the games in the SEC versus Division I opponents, going in order of kickoff, 12 noon Eastern, kicking us off. New Mexico State versus Kentucky. Kentucky minus 36-point home favorites, 60 being the total. Look, Kentucky, this is the largest spread they'll have to cover under Mark Stoops here. Mark Stoops, the second longest tenured head coach in the SEC. He's been there for a while, doing something right. They just got their 7th win. They're going bowling. He just got an extension. They're also 4-1 against the spread as home double-digit favorites. So they've been covering these bigger numbers when at home. New Mexico State, look, they just lost by more than 50 points to Alabama. I don't think they're going to be able to stay within 36 here at Kentucky. I don't love the play, but Kentucky minus 36 to start us off here. Hey, and it's not all bad for New Mexico State. They got paid $1.9 million last week to go to Tuscaloosa and play Alabama. They're getting paid $1.2 million this week to go to Lexington and play Kentucky. So more than $3 million the last 2 weeks to play SEC teams. Hey, they'll probably build something nice there in Las Cruces. We get 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Arkansas and Alabama, 58.5 being the total. Alabama minus 21-point home favorites. Looking at the Arkansas side here, head coach Sam Pittman's got them playing good football. They just won last week at LSU, a tough game against LSU. They don't have to win this game. They got to stay within 3 touchdowns. And really the philosophy here is I'm looking to fade Alabama and Auburn before the Iron Bowl. You know, for multiple seasons, they would each play kind of a lower echelon team the week before the Iron Bowl. And now last year, because of COVID-19, playing the all SEC schedule. And for whatever reason this year, they're now doing the same thing. So, hey, I think both teams are going to be looking ahead here a week ahead. And this is a look ahead spot. I think Arkansas catches them off guard. I don't think they win the game, but closer than the experts think. I'll take the Razorbacks. Woo, Pig Suey, plus 21. 4 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network, Florida and Missouri. Minus 8.5. That's the Florida Gators as the road favorite. 69 being the total. Kind of an ugly matchup here. Both teams not having good seasons. Dan Mullen needs a win as much as anybody here against an SEC opponent. They got Florida State on deck. I don't really like this spot for the Gators heading up north. Missouri, I know they got 2 straight covers, but one of those covers was staying within 40 points at Georgia. That's tough to be real happy about. And the other one was a terrible spot for South Carolina. They ended up beating them. You got to give them credit there, but 2-10 their last 12 against the spread. Missouri's not a team I'm looking to bet on. I think both defenses are awful. So, hey, the only way I can really find a wager here, have to put out something on every game, over 69. That's Florida and Missouri. 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Good night slate this week in the SEC. It starts off here. Auburn and South Carolina. Auburn minus 7.5-point road favorites, 45 being the total. And going back to the philosophy of fading both Alabama and Auburn this week, the week before the Iron Bowl, I'm looking towards the Gamecocks, plus 7.5. I like the underdog here. Look, South Carolina, they're only 2 games away from actually going to a bowl game. Not a lot of people thought about that, thought this was possible early in the season. They got Auburn, they're underdogs here, 7.5, and they got Clemson next week. Clemson, obviously having a down season, both, I guess, kind of winnable games. They could go bowling. Not sure if they're going to be able to pull off both, but they are catching Auburn at a pretty good time the week before the Iron Bowl. Also starting quarterback Bo Nix out for the year, and their kicker Carlson, who normally we don't talk about kickers. This guy was going to be a kicker in the NFL. Hopefully he's all right. He's out for the year as well. Now they got TJ Finley playing quarterback for War Eagle here. He's had some SEC experience being the starting quarterback for LSU. He's not as mobile as Bo Nix. I would look for them to actually give the ball to Tank Bigsby a lot more, which would be a good thing for the Auburn offense. I think they've needed to do that more of recent anyway. So that might be something pointing towards Auburn. But still, guys, I think the spot screams South Carolina here. So I'll take more than a touchdown with the home dog in the Gamecocks there in Columbia. We get Vanderbilt and Ole Miss up next, 7:30 on SEC Network, 65 being the total. Hotty toddy, Ole Miss minus 36.5-point favorites at home in Oxford, Mississippi. Look, guys, Vanderbilt's lost 19 straight SEC games. I can't really bet on a team like that. I mean, do I think they keep it within 37? Yeah, I do. But Ole Miss just coming off that big win last week. They got the Egg Bowl on a short week next week. So I really don't think Lane Kiffin and company are going to be looking to run it up. And at the same time, I don't want to be betting on Vanderbilt this time of year. So I actually look towards the total here, 65. This is a high total. And Ole Miss has had 5 straight unders, meaning if you bet the under the last 5 games Ole Miss played, you've cashed all 5. And Vanderbilt, 4 of the last 5 have finished under. So I think both teams trending here towards the under. Both teams' defense is playing better. Ole Miss, I don't see them really running it up late, which is kind of, if this doesn't happen, it's because they're running up late, most likely, and it gets up and over 65. I see this more, 33-10, something of that nature, and just kind of get out of Dodge here, Ole Miss at home, and get ready for the Egg Bowl. So actually, I like the under of 65, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and that's the best bet, guys, for the show, under 65. 2 more games here. Sunbelt versus SEC, 7:30 ESPNU. We get South Alabama at Tennessee. Tennessee laying 28 at home, 62 being the total in Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Tennessee. And I like USA here, plus 28. That's South Alabama. South Alabama's 9-3 against the spread as double-digit non-conference dogs, meaning for whatever reason, and usually, Sunbelt teams as double-digit non-conference dogs, it's against SEC teams. And for whatever reason, they've kind of played them well. In the trenches, they're not bad, and they're not getting pushed up front. So I think Tennessee, to ask them to win by more than 4 touchdowns here. Josh Heupel is only 2-7 against the spread off of a loss. They're 6-13 straight up their last 19 games. I think people kind of getting a little ahead of themselves on Tennessee laying 4 touchdowns here. I'll take the Sunbelt team to stay within 4 touchdowns, plus 28 on South Alabama at 9 p.m. here, ESPN2, night game in Baton Rouge, Louisiana Monroe against LSU. LSU minus 29-point home favorites, 57.5 being the total. If you don't know anything about the Warhawks from ULM, that Terry Bowden is their head coach, Rich Rodriguez their offensive coordinator. They were 0-10 last year, but this year they're 4-6. And an outside chance at making a bowl game. Obviously, they'd have to go 6-6. I don't think they win this game. It's little brother versus big brother here in the state of Louisiana. So we'll see what happens. And I think they can keep it close. I mean, this is a down year for LSU. Coach O on his way out. They just lost last week to Arkansas. Kind of the morale of the program in the gutter. I would look for ULM plus 29. So in the back half here, the last 2 games, Sunbelt teams getting a combined almost 30 points or 60 points combined. And we're going to take it here with South Alabama plus 28 and ULM plus 29. So kind of hold your nose specials there to end it with the SEC video, guys. But best bet, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss under 65. And in recap here, Kentucky Wildcats minus 36, Arkansas plus 21, Florida, Missouri over 69, South Carolina plus 7.5, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss under 65. We get USA and ULM plus 28 and plus 29 respectively. So that's a lot of underdogs. 2 unders or 1 over, 1 under for the best bet, Vanderbilt and Ole Miss, and a whole lot of underdogs. So hopefully the dogs are barking this week, guys. At Drew Martin Bets on Twitter, the best way to get at me. At Drew Martin Bets on YouTube and Facebook as well. If you're liking the content, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment below. I'll get back at you. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and best of luck with your bets. We'll be back next week for Thanksgiving and rivalry weekend. So give them back this weekend, guys. Enjoy the weekend.